If this bill comes into effect, they're going to spend $63.8 million on Bill C-15. All this money for people's taxes. Now, this is the plan. $32 million for rehab, $10 million for new ad campaign, and the rest is for enforcement, which comes out to be $21.8 million. Here's a clip of Stephen Harper talking about the cannabis culture that started in the 1960s and how him and his party want to get rid of it.
But what we are up against in trying to resolve this problem, what the police are up against, those who deal in treatment and prevention are up against, is a culture that since the 1960s has, at the minimum, not encouraged drug use and often romanticized it or made it cool, made it acceptable. And
here's a clip of the Ministry of Justice talking about Bill C-15.
Mr. Chairman, this bill has the complete support of the government, and I can tell you that with respect to, if you're talking about grow-op production, you'll notice that there is a distinction, that we are not trying to get the one person who's grown one plant in their backyard, but we're into the people who are into the business of trafficking, and we've made it very, very clear that up to 200 plants, that if these people are using this for the purposes of trafficking, they fall within this law. Obviously, and I think you would agree with me, the people who are having 200 or 500 or 1,000 plants, they're in the business of trafficking, and this is who this bill is designed and directed at. And as I say, I made it very clear that what we're after the people who are into the business of trying to destroy lives in this country, the organized crime that gets involved with this, the people who are trafficking. This is why we have a whole list of aggravating factors. I think if you look at it very closely, as I'm sure you will, when you go clause by clause on this, you'll see that, yes, you've got it right. These are the kinds of things we want to take into consideration.
He says that this bill has nothing to do with one plant grown in someone's backyard. This is all about organized crime, grown in large quantities of plants. If you look closely on the bill, it says, even for one plant, you will get 6 months mandatory in jail. And one plant obviously has nothing to do with organized crime. It is just someone who enjoys cannabis, is growing it. And then he says that cannabis destroys lives. He doesn't say cannabis. He uses the word drugs destroys lives. Because he tries to get the other politicians there, the other parties, to support this bill. The more people support the bill, the more chance they have of that bill coming into effect. So they tried to make it sound really serious. Because if he says cannabis destroys lives, it doesn't really sound that real. Because it really doesn't. What destroys lives are people like him who put in these bills. Prohibition destroys lives, destroys families, and puts innocent people in jail. Not cannabis, prohibition. Here's another clip of the Ministry of Justice speaking.
All serious drug crimes in this country. Again, we want to help the addict, the poor individual who finds him or herself addicted. We want to help that individual, but we're very clear to the people who are in the business of destroying people's lives, the people who like to sell these things to children and around schools, who think that the grow-op business is a great career opportunity, people who think a smart business move is to start importing drugs into this country. We send out a very clear message to them. You're going to jail if you get caught and convicted under these new laws, and I think that's exactly what Canadians have been wanting and have been waiting to hear from their government in Ottawa, and I'm pleased that we're delivering on that. In addition, I'm told, for instance, from law enforcement agencies, border services, and others, that people bringing drugs into this country is a major problem. And we have to be very clear who we're talking about. The people who bring drugs into this country, this is not just somebody who's experimenting with drugs on a one-off on a Saturday night, or some individual, poor individual, has become addicted. These are the people who are involved with organized crimes. These are the gangs. They're the ones bringing drugs into this country or shipping drugs out as currency for drugs coming into this country. We know who they are. We know what they're all about. And this is why I'm very pleased that the bill that we have before Parliament, Bill C-15 on drugs, makes it a mandatory jail time for somebody who wants to bring drugs into this country, because that's who we're targeting. Gangs, organized crime, and if you want to break up gangs and organized crime, you've got to get these people off the street. And so we send out a very clear message on that. And I have to tell you, it's not just a reaction to all the unfortunate publicity that has been received in the last few weeks. This has been ongoing. And you will, when this committee or Parliament has a close look, as I hope they're having a close look at that drug bill, I hope they will note that it is virtually identical to the one that we had in the previous Parliament that we wanted to get passed. And so these things send out the right message, and this is exactly what victims and law-abiding Canadians want us to do. So yes, we are moving forward on these. We've had input from a wide range of people, and in my opinion, Canadians are demanding action on these issues, and I'm pleased to tell them that we are prepared to deliver.
Once again, he uses the term drugs instead of cannabis. Because when you say drugs, it scares people, and it makes it sound very serious. He also says that they want to help the individual, not throw them in jail. They want to throw the gangsters in jail. But I've heard that what they really want to do is also throw the people who use cannabis in jail. 6 months mandatory for just using cannabis. But he lies and says that they want to help them. How are you trying to help them? By throwing them in jail. And most of these people don't even need help. These are just people trying to relax. More users will be in jail than organized crime. Because users grow their own cannabis too. And I think that it's better to grow your own cannabis than going out and buying from the black market, because you never know what type of chemicals they use to grow cannabis, or it maybe could be sprayed. You never know. And then he says that this is what Canadians want. I don't think he really knows what Canadians want. A lot of Canadians do support legalization of cannabis. And I don't think they want to throw a US-style war on drugs and waste money, because we know that that will never work. The US has been fighting drugs for a very long time and has spent billions of dollars, and they're still not anywhere near winning that war. If Bill C-15 comes into effect, it will never work. It will just be a big waste of money on courts, jail, and police. Most of the prisons will be filled with cannabis users and growers. This is all coming from taxes. People would have to be paying more taxes. so they could build more jails and hire more police. But by the time the government realizes this, that they will never win, billions and billions of dollars will be spent, and lives would be ruined. Legalizing is the solution. But it will take a very long time for the government to realize that. Thank you.